What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and Kevin Smith owes everyone a massive apology, especially Clownfish TV, because for the past year and a half, Kevin Smith has been lying to everyone about his show on Netflix, Masters of the Universe Revelation. He lied over and over and over again to try to trick people into this bait and switch. The critics ate it up and loved it, but now we're seeing what the audience thinks about it. Now we're seeing the reviews come in hard and fast, and people are upset because they were tricked. Kevin Smith sold you a bait and switch. We said that he was lying. We said that this show would be all about Teela. The reviews even started to say that. Kevin Smith tried to say, no, He-Man does no stepping aside. But then he brags about what he did to He-Man, how they did shove him aside. And Netflix admits that this is all about Teela. Now, we are going to be talking about spoilers for Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1. All 5 episodes dropped on Netflix. I have watched all 5 episodes. I'm going to give you a little bit of my feedback about the show itself, and it's sad. It is sad that this is where we are. It's sad that Kevin Smith had to do this bait and switch because they showed that they know exactly what fans want. The first 2 minutes of episode 1, they showed that they know exactly what fans want, but they decided to ignore that and instead make this about Teela. It was all about Teela, and if you don't believe me, why don't you just listen to the Netflix Masters of the Universe behind the scenes show? Why don't we go to this really quick? I clipped it out, put it up on Twitter. Why don't you hear what they had to say about their own show?
Well, He-Man is powerful. This season was all about a very different Eternian hero, Teela. And to talk about her character and how awesome she was in Part 1, we have a very special guest. Please welcome Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
And it was all about Teela. That's what this show was about. That's what these 5 episodes were about. And again, I already said spoilers, but spoiler, He-Man dies twice. He dies in the first episode, and Teela feels so betrayed that she didn't know Prince Adam's secret. How dare you? And they try to make it some sort of noble sacrifice, and it was, to be fair. It was a sacrifice. He thought he was saving Eternia. It turns out that he didn't. They kind of needed that magic in Eternia, so really it's Teela's chance to go save the day. They end up going to Preternia, and where Prince Adam is living because he's dead. He's basically in heaven. And he comes back in the last episode only for them to subvert your expectations and have Skeletor stab him in the back and kill him again. And Kevin Smith, keep in mind, Kevin Smith, let's go and look and see what he said, right? When Clownfish TV put this out, my understanding of Kevin Smith's He-Man series, Teela is a better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. If true, this won't play well. So some people are going to defend Kevin Smith by him saying, no, He-Man does no stepping aside, because they're going to be like, well, we killed him off. Teela had to be the hero. That's what people are going to say to defend him. However, no, He-Man does no stepping aside, and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Let's listen to Kevin Smith. After saying, no, He-Man does no stepping aside, listen to Kevin Smith brag. Again, this is from their own after show. Their behind-the-scenes show. Listen to Kevin Smith brag about how happy he is that they killed off He-Man not once, but twice in 5 episodes.
Can you believe that we killed Adam twice, man? Bam! Twice! Not just once where you're like, that was crazy courageous to do it in episode 1. We did it in episode 5 as well! Nuts!
That's Kevin Smith bragging about how proud he is that they killed off He-Man twice. And the thing is, there are some elements of this. Of course, there's going to be a part 2. It's going to be 10 episodes total. There are elements of this that you could have had that would have worked really well in this story if you hadn't decided to make the entire thing about Teela and lie to all the fans. That is the biggest thing with all of this. Kevin Smith has tried to defend himself and defend his honor over and over and over again. Say that these people are lying, saying these people are wrong, saying, no, the show is not all about Teela, when in fact, it 1000% is all about Teela. It's about the women of Masters of the Universe. That's what this show is about, this little side quest. There are no strong male characters in this entire 5-part season. There's just not. And I think we heard that from Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph did a review, says the series has no strong male leads or support characters. When IGN came out, I tagged Kevin Smith, haven't heard any response. When IGN came out and said basically this is Teela's show, they were 100% right. Because that's what Netflix themselves have admitted. This is not going over well with fans. He-Man is trending right now, and virtually everyone is saying, Kevin Smith, you are a fraud, you are a liar. If you wanted to make a Teela show, it should have been marketed like that. It should have been marketed as a Teela show. But this is just like The Last of Us Part 2. This is just like Loki. This is just like all these bait and switch shows. They know that not as many people will show up to watch it if they realize that it's about this character. So they use a character. They use a character that is beloved, that so many people appreciate and adore. And they use them to tell the story they actually want to tell. And this it's not a good thing over on Rotten Tomatoes. It's only going to get worse. Because unlike the theaters, which can be protected by their verified audience score, which happens to be so many nameless, faceless people that have no other reviews on there that are clearly just bots generated by whatever studio is trying to pump up their numbers. There is not that for these Netflix series, at least not that I've seen. That's why we see the actual audience score at 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Kevin Smith has been exposed time and time and time again. This is a dude right here. This is from before he realized he was going to be running a Masters of the Universe series for Netflix. Listen to what the He-Man superfan said.
I have no love for He-Man.
I know, but I have no love for He-Man either, but he's got a place in the world in a comic book store. You can't make fun of somebody else's interest. You're like, He-Man's stupid. I like Batman. You know, what's the diff?
So it's weird that he would say, I'm no He-Man fan. I have no love for He-Man either. He also said back in 2010, I wasn't a He-Man fan, but Gallery 88's running an awesome Masters of the Universe art show. So that's 2 times that he said he's not a He-Man fan, that he doesn't care about this. Yet, for some reason, he gets described as a He-Man superfan in an interview, and when it gets announced that he is going to be running this show, he says, I'm a big genre fan. I'm a big, obviously, DC Marvel guy, but the Moto universe, Masters of the Universe, is right alongside with it. That's strange, Kevin Smith, that all of a sudden, when you want to be running this show, that you now claim you're a fan of something that you were not a fan of before. We have the audio. Let's hear. You can hear the audio.
I'm a big genre fan. I'm a big, obviously, DC Marvel Universe fan, but the Motu Universe as well, or Masters of the Universe, is right alongside with it. Unfortunately, it came...
So, he's lied about how big of a fan he is of this character because he wanted to get this job. He wanted to do this. And now we're seeing He-Man, Prince Adam, gets killed twice in 5 episodes, is barely in this series at all, in this bait and switch. And if you do watch it, when you watch the first minute or 2 minutes of episode 1, you will realize what I'm saying when they knew exactly what fans wanted. They gave you what the old school fans would have wanted from this in the first couple minutes. Then they tried to flip everything on its head and subvert your expectations. Are there good things in there about He-Man making a sacrifice? Yeah, I do think that's okay. That could have worked had they done it the right way and found some way to bring him back. But not only does he make this sacrifice, Teela says, oh, I didn't care about your sacrifice. What about me? What about us? What about the people you left behind? You lied to me. Regardless of the fact that he tried to do everything he could to save Eternity, that he made the ultimate sacrifice. Then he gave up heaven to come back just to get killed again. And guess what's going to happen? Teela is probably going to have to save the day once again in part 2. That's what this series is all about. It's about setting up Teela to be the next He-Man, the next champion, the next wielder of the power sword. Mark my words, that is what we're going to see in part 2. It's pretty easy to see at this point going forward what they have in mind. But fans do not like this. People are calling out Kevin Smith because he knew exactly what this was, and he decided to lie over and over and over again. Kevin Smith is a lying sack of shit. That's no other way to put it. Like, what else am I supposed to say? He is a fucking fraud, and he is a liar, and he is disappointing a lot of people today. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.